So this domain had spent 15 years serving the people of Gordon, Wisconsin with useful information about their local area before it got dropped and then picked up by a couple of PBN users that really didn't do the domain justice. So when I found it, it had been de-indexed and dropped again. But what caught my eye were the stats on it. It had a pretty reasonable trust flow of 24, domain authority of 31, and I thought maybe this website can be resurrected. Maybe the backlinks on it are that good that it can overcome this bad PBN history. So I got the domain for the cost of registration, didn't have to pay any auction fees or anything like that because it was already a dropped domain. So here's my plan. I'm going to recover the website with DomRecovery, then I'm going to use ChatGPT to recreate the website to be completely unique, brand new website design with no issues, things like that. I'm going to mush them together, put them up online, and then hopefully it will be re-indexed without me having to do any SEO. No backlinks, no pinging, no mentioning it on socials, nothing. I'm relying on the previous backlinks to see if it's going to get indexed. Now, normally when I do this with clean domains, it happens by itself within about 2 days. This has happened in previous videos that I've shown you, and it's my experience. So what will happen with a domain that isn't as squeaky clean as the ones I'm normally playing with? Well, let's find out. Let's start the experiment right now. Maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to improve on some of the stats. I think you'll be surprised. So follow me this way. To find the domain, I set some basic filters in easy expired domains and then just scrolled through. And here's what I found, gordonwi.com. I thought the stats look all right. Had a quick peek into the Wayback Machine snapshots and thought, yeah, this is a sort of domain I can work with. So I chose it. So you can see it's got 24 years of history. It's got 73 different snapshots. And here we have the beginning of the website. So here we can see that it's about northwest Wisconsin and it's all about the Gordon area and surrounding towns. As we progress through the time, we can see that it stays this way for a good few years, about 15 years. You can see that the design changes, the content changes, but it stays on the same topic. And that is information and resources about that area of Wisconsin in America. And it stays that way till about 2016. You can see that somewhere in this time that it changes. It starts to be just a link to a different website and then it drops. And in the last few recent years, you can see that it becomes a PBN website. The way I find that's best to get a website re-indexed really quickly is to find an appropriate snapshot. Now, an appropriate snapshot will be one that's as complete as possible, that has as many pages and as much of the media on each page as possible. So once we've found one of those, we're simply going to take the snapshot link, we're going to copy that, and then we're going to load up DomRecovery. I'm just going to feed that snapshot URL into DomRecovery, and then I'm going to hit Start Recovery. And then this will grab every page and every piece of content as archived by the Wayback Machine, and it's going to save it to your disk. Leave that to run, let it work, and when it's finished, we'll go on to the next step. Now we can see that DomRecovery has finished recovering the files. We can view the contents of the website and move on to the next step. Now I have the website fully recovered and backed up to my computer. What I then want to do is create a folder. In this instance, I'm calling it gordonwi.com. Inside that folder, there's going to be 2 other folders that I'm going to create. One called Old Website, and this is going to contain all of the files for the original website that I've just recovered. That's going to go into the Old Website folder. And then the other folder is going to be New Website. This one is what the AI will put our new design into. There's a few steps to the next stage. They're not overly complicated, but we must do them sort of correctly. There'll be full instructions on how to do this in the description below. So now I have the folders set up just how I want them. I'm going to open it up in VS Code. And you can use Claude Code, Cursor, Codex, any of these other ones, just so long as it's an IDE that incorporates an AI or LLM. So then from here, I'm going to take the prompt that's linked in the description. I'm just going to paste it in, and then whatever AI you choose to use is then going to create a whole new website based on the old design and structure, and it's going to create new content for it in a totally unique way. Once it's been generated, you can then test it in your local browser just to check that you don't want any extra changes. And then once you're done, just upload it to the internet and then your website's live. Now I've uploaded the website, the waiting game begins. I uploaded it at 8:38 p.m. on the 8th of July, and now all we've got to do is wait to see how long it takes to get indexed, if it gets indexed. So I'd be hoping for about 2 days, maybe 3 days, but anything before 5 days is normally a really good sign that this website isn't completely burnt. Let's see how long this is going to take. So it's been 24 hours, not quite biting my nails yet, no sign of indexation. We'll see, maybe tomorrow. It's been 2 days now, no indexing just yet. Biting my nails a little bit, nothing major. We'll see, maybe tomorrow. 2.5 days, 2 3/4 days, something like that, not quite 3. Still not indexed. So, yeah. Butt is firmly clenched. We'll see what happens tomorrow. So it's day 4. It's been 3 days, 21 hours, and the domain's indexed! Whee! So, less than 4 days. It's not quite the 2 days that I'm normally looking at, but less than 4 days with no SEO, no backlinks, no anything, no socials. I'm quite happy with that. Quite surprised, really. I was expecting the recent PBN usage to have been a bit more of an issue. I was sort of expecting that 5 days was going to be up. I'd post a video and then come back to it after a couple of weeks, and then maybe it would start being indexed after I've, posted about it on socials and whatnot. But no, it's indexed itself 4 days. But truthfully, I was actually out with the family all day today, so it could have been indexed as early as any time in the night last night. So it may have been closer to 3 days than the 4 days it nearly got to. But yeah, that's a good result, I think. It's a valid result. So this little experiment was by no means a comprehensive test of multiple domains and multiple scenarios. It was just, I just wanted to see if a domain with a sort of checkered history could get indexed just as easily as other domains. I'm quite surprised by the result, but at the same time, I'm quite positive about what this means. Because there's a huge amount of domains that we overlook on a day-to-day basis, whether we're looking to build a website on it ourselves or, add it to part of our PBN. I know I've overlooked a lot of domains like this purely because I've just assumed that, well, if it's been used for a PBN, they've obviously got the use out of it, let it drop, and it's just, they don't care about it anymore, or that it doesn't have any utility anymore. But I think this shows that there might be. So what I'm going to do with this in future, I'm going to leave it for now. I might generate some backlinks, maybe update the content on it. I mean, it is going to be AI doing a lot of that content work. I'll do the offsite mostly. But just to see if it stays in the index and whether it can gain some of its ranks again. Now the website's re-indexed, something unexpected has happened. I think the most unexpected part of this is now it's been re-indexed. Something's happened to the stats for the domain. So when I first found it, it had a trust flow of 24 and a domain authority of 31. But now it's been re-indexed. I don't know why I thought to do this, but I rechecked the stats with DomDetailer. And as we can see, quite clearly here, the domain authority is still 31, which is, it's still 31. Yet the trust flow has gone up to 32 now. I can only deduce from this the Majestic in some way checks the index status of domains before giving them a trust flow score. I can't imagine that any new backlinks have appeared just organically by me re-registering it. But that is something that's really positive for a change. So that is an outcome that I wasn't really expecting. I've seen it in the past, but it doesn't always happen, and it is not something that I ever expect to happen as a result of me putting it back online. So not only have we ended up with a website with very decent stats, it's got a few backlinks that would be really hard to replicate. Shaky history though, and yet it still got indexed. So I don't know what you want to take from that. I personally think it's interesting. I don't think it will be changing my buying habits just yet. I might run a few more of these tests. If you're aware of any other people that are doing tests like this, please put them in the comments below, because I'd love to see other people's findings with regards to this. Do you see stats increasing when you re-index a domain? Do you find that domains with a dodgy history aren't always, condemned for the rest of eternity? Can they be redeemed? This one seems to have done. I don't want to draw any hard conclusions just yet. I'll be keeping an eye on it, seeing what it does in future. But I thought that was interesting. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. This has taken far longer than I was expecting, not just waiting for it to re-index, but just the whole video process. This one's been a tough one, to be honest. I spent a lot of time on it. So if you appreciate it, please put in the comments below. If you've got any feedback, if you hate something, please put it in the comments below, because this has taken a lot of my time, and to be perfectly honest, probably better spent on other areas of my business. So I'm only going to keep doing them if they are useful to people. But I really appreciate you watching. If you're a customer of Domain Hunter Gatherer, Easy Expired Domains, DomDetailer, DomRecovery, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks for watching again. I think I've said enough for now. I'm going to stop talking. Bye.